Well, welcome to another raw beyond body experience that literally happened to me, oh gosh, about 8 minutes ago. It's about 5:58 in the morning now. It probably happened 8 minutes ago or so. And let me get right into it. It's really short. And I have to tell you, sometimes I struggle on whether to share all of my experiences because some of my experiences are a bit strange. And I think, do people really want to hear about every single experience that I have? Well, I'm going to share this one, even though it was kind of an odd experience. And it's funny because I had been, of course, studying Spanish. I'm usually doing something in the middle of the night, and then I close my eyes to rest, and this stuff happens. And I was thinking in my mind, before this happened, I was thinking, yeah, it's not going to happen this morning. It's just not going to happen. I just don't see it happening again. This speaks to the fact that you should have no expectations when you do this. Whether you're leaving your body or whatever you're doing. For me, I was kind of thinking, well, I don't think it's going to happen. Well, if it does happen, great. But if not, okay. But it's so interesting because I do believe my guides wait until that moment that I reach that in between space, and then they just kind of take me. And in this case, this was again the case. I felt myself kind of roll off of my bed, but again, it didn't feel as if I was rolling out of my body. It felt like I was literally just rolling out of my bed. And when I came down, it was almost like I stopped before hitting the ground and I was just floating right before I would feel, or at least I would think I would feel, the ground or hitting the ground. And I started moving, but again, moving very slowly. And literally, I have to tell you that this time it felt like someone was kind of pulling me by my ankles. So if you can kind of imagine yourself laying down in the prone position on your back, and someone's kind of just pulling you by your ankles, but you're floating. And that's what it felt like. In the middle of it, I thought to myself, well, I want to see what this is like. I want to see where I'm going. Boom. I would tell you within a split second, suddenly the scene revealed itself. Like normally it takes time. There's darkness, right? Because I've gone over this before. And then from the darkness, slowly there's this reveal of my surroundings. But this time, as soon as I asked, I said, I want to see where I'm going. It was in the blink of an eye that I was able to see being in this house. First thing I remember seeing was a painted wall. It was white, and there were hardwood floors. This was an extremely spacious house. It was nice. There were windows. One of the things I remember seeing these things hanging from strings. They were like, back in the old days, they would call them maybe Cupid dolls. I wouldn't say they were Cupid dolls. They weren't made of plastic. They were made like a teddy bear kind of stuff people would make, those things. I don't know how to explain them. If you think of a teddy bear or the little, I don't know, dolls, but they weren't plastic dolls. I'm trying to make this kind of clear so you can kind of see it. Anyway, there were these things hanging from strings, and they were like, I guess you could say they were maybe dolls or things like that. I remember there was a panda bear. I remember amongst other animals and other things that were hanging from this, there was a Scooby-Doo uh, thing, and I thought, Scooby Doo, that's interesting. Among all these other little dolls, the thing I recognized was what appeared to be kind of a Scooby Doo. I think they may have been hanging over a a, a baby. Um, what can I? You know what? For some reason, I can't think of words right now. Um, you know what I mean? Where babies lie down. It's too early in the morning. Um, anyway, I believe they may have been hanging over that area, and I was just looking around at first. Interesting because on those dolls that were hanging from strings, there seemed to be so much depth to this place. It seemed to be so spacious. And there were these ladies all in a row. I saw one on the left side, and then I saw another one. Again, they seemed to be distant. And they were all just kind of sitting. I don't remember what they were doing. They were white. At least one of the ones that I saw had brownish hair. They had sort of tan skin a little bit. As I recall, at least one of them did. I don't recall. Now I'm beginning to forget the other ones again, as I have told you before. Once I come back, things start to become a little more faded. But I walked up to these different ladies, and one of the things I thought was, I wanted to take a more observational tone with my visits. I didn't want to, necessarily talk to people because I'm still trying to figure out, especially when I'm in the beyond body, what, if any, are the rules. So I thought maybe if I don't talk to people, it lasts longer. Well, that didn't last very long for me because I thought I'm in somebody's house. So I should make sure that I make it known, hey, I'm here. Don't panic. Don't scream. Again, I'm going by my own values, by the values of this world. And in those values, if you enter somebody's home, you're going to make yourself known. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to make myself known. So I tried getting someone's attention. I went up to the first lady and I said, hey, excuse me. Hey, excuse me. She ignored me. I went up to another lady and I said, hey, hello, hello. She ignored me. I'm thinking, why are these people ignoring me? First of all, I'm in their house. I'm walking around. I'm trying to talk to them and they're ignoring me. Interesting. I mean, is it possible that they just didn't see me? I'm not sure. Now that I'm thinking about it, it is possible that they didn't see me. I don't know why they wouldn't have seen me though. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Anyway, at one point I was speaking or trying to talk to a little girl, and I again was failing miserably. This little girl wasn't talking to me. I think she was sitting on a chair and I was trying to communicate with her. And then suddenly, that little girl, and this is going to sound really strange, turned into a little boy. I mean, in about an instant, bam, suddenly it was a little boy. And the little boy reached out and, I kid you not, bit my hand. And that's when I opened my eyes. Now, one of the things that I haven't talked much about in these episodes has been a theory of mine which states that there are there are triggers that bring me back to this world. Strange triggers, but triggers all the same. Trigger meaning that something like a kid biting me or someone pinching me or whatever, and it snaps me back here. The theory for that is that if that did not happen, it's very possible I could just stay out wherever I am and not come back, and then that would be it. So, because I'm still alive in this world, these triggers exist to basically bring me back to here, so I guess I can actually share these stories with you. Anyway, that's it for this really strange story that didn't last very long, and wasn't very exciting. But just to let you know, not all these spirit experiences are. I mean, astral projection and doing the things that I can do are extraordinary, but sometimes I have to tell you, you can come into a place where things are quite mundane, where people are living their lives wherever they are. Not always exciting, you're not always flying around, you're not always seeing all these beings. Sometimes people are just living, and that's it. Anyway, thank you for coming on another journey with me, and until next time, take care.